Matt, I'm curious, just from a coaching philosophy standpoint, do you have a different theme every week or something that you try to relay to the players? Like this week, you're really going to focus in on not making 15-yard penalties or whatever? Or is it, hey, we're going to get better 1% every day? Do you have a different theme every week?
I wouldn't necessarily say theme. I would say if there's something we're not doing well, we talk about improvements that we have to make. And then there's always certainly something from the opposing team that we have to focus on. So there's each week's a separate entity. Each game's a separate entity. But when we meet to start the week, we talk about here's the things that we feel like we need to improve upon. And then, hey, here's the keys to this game. We have a plan to win and things like that we believe in. But here's the specific things that this team does that we have to take away or limit or negotiate in some way.
All right, let's go to Skylar and then Joe Person.
Hey, Matt, you guys are, I believe, 7th in the league through the first 4 games in pass defense. Just what have you seen that is attributed to that? Is it much to do with the front 7 as well, kind of complementing those guys in the back end?
Well, I think two things about statistics: A, that they're always a group effort. They're whether they're good or bad, they're emblematic of everyone, and they never really tell the full story, right? So, I always use statistics to go back and find areas that we need to research, but then try to look at the tape. I think 7th in passing. I think we're first in yards per completion, but we're giving up a lot of completions, and again, I think that has been our approach to play things top down, make people throw the ball in front of us. We've broken up when we've tackled well. We've played good defense. When we haven't tackled well, we haven't played great defense. So, we're trying to improve upon some of those different areas. As we've gotten pressure, and we don't have a ton of sacks, but as we've gotten pressure, obviously it speeds up the process for the opposing quarterback and allows us, a little bit quicker burst to get up and tackle guys when they catch the ball.
Hey, Matt, 2 things. Did Eli Apple have a setback, and is it something that might put him back on IR? And then secondly, do you know when the Rodney Smith transaction will finalize?
I'm not sure about Rodney Smith. I'm not sure. When you say transaction will finalize, what does that mean?
Well, you guys had him in for a visit and the COVID test. And, hearing that he's going to sign, I guess it's a longer process now with the new protocol.
Yeah, I mean, we're following the protocols. I'm not sure what the protocol. I think it's 5 days now. I think that guys have to test. Our personnel people will handle those things. In terms of the first question you asked me, Joe, again was what? Now I'm sorry.
Eli.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Eli. Eli pulled his other hamstring, I believe, in the game. So it's not necessarily a setback on that hamstring, but an issue on the other hamstring. I'm saying that right after practice. I don't have all that stuff in front of me, so I could be wrong. But Eli has an injured hamstring that he's trying to heal.
Let's go to Phil Orban and then Elena Getzenberg.
Hey, man, if we could stay with more stats that maybe don't necessarily tell the full picture. You guys have been really good at not allowing the chunk plays, which was kind of an issue last year with this defense. I'm wondering, when you say keep everything in front of you and tackle, was that always something that you knew you would want to focus on and not allowing those big runs and passes as a defense?
Yeah, and I'm talking mainly in zone coverages. I think wanting to play things deep to short as a base philosophy. When teams start with the ball on their own side of the 50, the stats for whether you have a 20-yard play or not, the numbers of touchdowns is staggering. I mean, you need a 20-yard play for the most part to go score. So we're trying to always eliminate explosive plays. There's a bunch of research about it. We've always on offense, one of our goals is to create explosive plays, and on defense, negate explosive plays. So that's part of it. A lot of those happen in the passing game. They usually happen for missed assignments, which we think we can control, missed tackles, or ball thrown over our head. Which if we play good coverage and have good eyes, we try to eliminate those. In the run game, to me, it's being gaps down and it's running plays down. Last week a ball split. It was explosive play. Our guys did a great job though to run the quarterback in that case down and get him down and play the next play. So we want to eliminate explosive plays, but we certainly want to eliminate explosive home run type touchdown plays. And so it starts with discipline and technique and all the football things, but then it finishes with effort. But I think in this league, if you can eliminate explosive plays and you can create turnovers, you'll always have a chance to play great defense.
Hey, Matt, I just wanted to follow up on Eli. Obviously, I know no one wants injuries or anything like that, but I guess just what's any frustration there on him just not being able to get healthy? And then are you ruling him out for Sunday or not there yet?
Yeah, I don't do things on Thursday. I don't get frustrated with players. When you're, I get frustrated at lack of effort, but you have injuries. I feel bad for players because I know I see the guys coming in at 6:30 in the morning. I see guys working hard to play. I see the anxiety for players as they're trying to get healthy. I see the effort that they give, and so I never get frustrated. I feel for them. I'm frustrated for them, but not never frustrated at them. Eli's a talented player. He's had some medical things so far this year. It's still early in the season. We're going to try to get him healthy, and whenever they say he can go, he can go. But certainly nothing but appreciation for him for he's working hard to come back. He tried to come back last week, and then had yet another thing happen to him. But he was out there and he was competing for his team, and that's what's important to me.
And if I could just ask one more question, just getting Russell. Obviously, he's practiced the last few days. Just what's excitement for getting Russell back out there likely on Sunday?
Well, I mean, I'm hopeful that Russell can go. We won't put him out there till he feels ready. And so we'll wait to see when he feels, like, hey, he can really go. So if he's ready to go, great. And if not, we feel really good about our situation with Greg and with Trent and Dennis being back practicing now. So, Russell's been a starter. He's been an all-pro caliber player. He played really well the first two games. If he can go, I'd be really excited for him. He's a really integral part of the team and the fabric of the team. But if not, then we'll put the young guys out there and expect that they'll play really well. They've also practiced well this week.
All right, let's go to Miles Simmons and then David Newton.
And Matt, what do you think has made Matt Ryan so effective as a quarterback for so long?
I mean, he's just an elite talent, going all the way back to, Boston College, going all the way back to Penn Charter. I mean, he's got a great arm. He's unbelievably smart, great timing. This year he's moving the ball with his feet, and I'm not saying that like this year only. I'm saying from what I've watched this year. I obviously didn't play against him last year. He's got all the skills and tools. He's got the mental wherewithal to get them in the right play all the time, right protection. He's got great weapons around him. When you look at a team that's got, Ridley and Jones and, Todd Gurley and Gale, I mean, they've got so many good players. So, he's just really, really talented and also really, really smart and a great competitor.
Hey, Matt, David here. You talk about analytics. What analytic you think best defines how this team's improved?
In terms of statistic or all those things? That's a great question. I think I think on offense probably our second and third down efficiency. We're really good in those two areas. We have to get better on first down, but our ability to throw the ball and move the chains has led to some really, really long drives. I mean, we don't have a lot of short, easy drives. We're having some really, really long drives. And then, defensively, I think, as was said earlier, just the lack of explosive plays. When people score on us, they're earning it. We don't have a lot of easy outs, we make people earn it. And if we can just get a little bit better on defense in the red zone, I think it'd be a big jump. I think, people are moving the ball into the red zone like 42% of the time against us. I think that's 11th in the league. Once in the red zone, though, they're scoring too much. So just like last week, a big feature was our red zone offense this week. We have to improve our red zone defense. But I would say it's just the lack of big plays that we've given up. And that'll be really important this week versus Atlanta, a team that can strike, both on the ground and in the air. Their ability to run the football and then play action pass makes them really hard to defend. And, you put it on your coaches then to say, hey, do we play run defense? We play pass defense. And what we'll have to do is just eliminate big plays. If we do that, then we'll have a chance to play good defense.
Let's go to Chris Jenkins for the next question.
Hey, Coach, when it comes to success between a quarterback and a wide receiver, how much of it would you say is chemistry versus just that wide receiver getting open? And then kind of building on that question, how would you as a coach define that chemistry that quarterbacks and wide receivers can have?
I think that word chemistry really comes down to really two things. Number one is timing. When they've repped together and worked together, and they know like, hey, I'm going to throw the ball before you hit your break. They have timing, and that's really what the passing game is about. At least for us, we're a timing-based passing offense. We're not like a, hey, get open and I'll throw it to you. We work through progressions, and a lot of that's based on timing and the synchronization of everyone. So I think you have to have tremendous timing, and then you have to have trust. The quarterback has to trust that if he throws the ball before you break, that you're going to be exactly where you're supposed to be. That if he gets zero blitz, that he can turn and throw the ball to you, and you're going to go be where you're supposed to be and make the play that you're supposed to make. And so I think that idea of chemistry really comes down to timing, and then the trust that's built off of that. And obviously those things are amplified when you have guys that like being around each other, that stick around after practice, that throw the ball together more, that watch tape together. All those things build into that. But if it's not built on the fundamental of elite timing and the trust that comes off that, it's all for naught.
Let's go to Joe Person and then Jason Huber.
Matt, I know you didn't get to Temple, I think, until after Matt had left Penn Charter and gone to Boston College, but didn't know if your paths had crossed with him at all, either in Philly circles or otherwise.
No, I've never crossed paths with Matt. Mike Saravo, who's our linebackers coach, was on the staff at Boston College when Matt was there, and so I know he has a lot of. Mike has a lot of great things to say about Matt during their time, and they won a lot of games at Boston College. They won championships when he was there, so I've heard stories about him through Mike, but I've never had a chance to meet him.
Hey, Matt, with a team like the Falcons, who, even though they're 0-4, they have, a lot of talent on the team. What kind of makes a team that, this morning, Coach Dan Quinn kind of mentioned that they're trying to put away that frustration and have that determination. So what makes a team that isn't, I guess, quote unquote, desperation mode like them right now so dangerous? And how do you make sure that your guys, I guess, have more of a desperation mode than them?
I really believe that our focus is always just on us. We're sitting here this week. We have this unbelievable opportunity to go play professional football and go on the road and play. And if our coaching staff, if our players, if our staff isn't excited and like exhilarated at the opportunity to go play, then we're in the wrong business. And so I think part of our mentality is to be really honest with ourselves and look at the last game and say, hey, are we a good football team yet? Are we the team that we want to be? And the answer is no. So trying to get better at that. So I think it's all about us. We want to enter every game with humble confidence, and that's, we want to be confident to go play, but we want to enter it with the humility to prepare at the highest of levels. And so I don't think there's anything about us that's not working our tail off just to go 1-0 this week. And nothing that'll happen the rest of the season affects this game. Nothing that's happened before affects this game. It really all comes down to whichever team plays best on Sunday. And the best way to play well on Sunday is to, prepare and practice and train and do all those things this week. So we have the utmost confidence in ourselves, and we have the utmost respect for our opponent. So it's going to be an absolute battle. It'll be a physical, mental, draining, 4-quarter battle. And the only thing we can control is us and our mindset. So we don't think about, at least I don't think about anyone else. I just think about us. And, I'm hopeful that we'll go out and be the team that, we want to be.
All right. We have time for a couple more guys. Let's go to Jonathan Alexander and then Miles Simmons.
Hey, Matt. Hope you're doing well. I just have a quick question for you. From the time that, you worked with Phil Snow at UCLA 2001 to the time that you hired him as your DC, did you keep in contact with him a lot in between those years?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I called him, and obviously he's, Phil's a lot older than me. I didn't really socialize, but I would call him a lot as I was making decisions and coaching and going through life. And he like, as I said the other day, he was a mentor to me. So I would talk to him about the different things that I was doing. And, so yeah, I would stay in touch with him. I think I went out and visited him once when he was at the Lions. I went out and visited them on defense, and I think I saw him. He came to one of our Temple games when we played. I think we played Eastern Michigan or someone, and I saw him at the game.
Matt, you mentioned that you're getting a lot of long sustained drives. How much is Teddy Bridgewater's command help in making sure that you guys can stay on the field and convert those third downs, things like that?
I'd say it's 90% of it. And I don't mean to take that away from the other players. I think they would all say it to you. You don't see a ton of times, unless they blitz more than we have, where guys are running wide open. And that's Matt Paradis has done a fantastic job. I mean, Matt's done a great job as our center this year, making sure we're always on the same page. Our line's done a great job of protecting. But Teddy's, running the show and making sure we're in the right play, the right protection. We motion, we shift, we check plays. We do all these things that not everyone does. And we do them because we have a quarterback who allows us to do them. And I think our ability to get in and out of the right plays, our ability to make up for negative plays or penalties is really impressive. And to almost to the point where I'm saying to our team, like, let's stop getting so many offensive penalties. Let's not be in 2nd and 20 and have to fight back. And I think that credit goes to Teddy. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks, smartest football people I've been around. And I had the good fortune to be around Eli Manning, and Teddy reminds me so much of Eli in terms of the way that he studies the game, the way that he plays the mental game, the way that, he understands the run game, he understands the protection game. He's a quarterback who on his own time goes and meets with the O-line coaches. He spends time with our O-line. He's just such a cerebral, intelligent football guy that it makes everyone around us better.
All right. We have time for one more quick one. So, Steven, do you want to ask your question?
Sure. Coach, the Panthers have really struggled with Calvin Ridley on the Falcons in the past, and he's had some of the best games of his career against Carolina. What have you seen from Ridley on film, and do you notice that when he plays the Panthers, does he have any extra edge to him at all?
I would know, his mindset playing the Panthers. I know he's a great player. I know he leads them right now with 9 explosive plays on the season. He's a deep ball threat who can also catch the ball in the intermediate and catch and run, catch the ball underneath. I mean, he's really a dominant player, and dominant players are going to make great plays. I don't spend a lot of time paying attention to the past. I study the past, like you're asking me. I learn from it, but the mental, emotional, psychological parts of it, to me, don't affect us. We have to go out there and everyone on defense has to do their job, and they have to play really well. And we're going to play against their great players, and their great players are going to make plays. And we just have to keep playing and do our job and not try to do too much, and play with great eyes and play with great pad level and play with great discipline, play with great energy, and trust each other. And so if we do those things, we always give ourselves a chance to win. And like any other game, it'll come down, to the end of the game, and whoever makes one more play wins. But I can't tell you how impressed I am with Ridley. He's such a great player. He's fun to watch. That being said, I think we have great players too, and I trust our players to go out and play. And we'll go out and we'll play the game and play it one snap at a time and see what happens.